Now let's look at the combined gas law. The combined gas law is the relationship between pressure, volume, temperature, which remember must be in Kelvin, at constant amount of gas, which we call N. So we have three things changing, and our equation is P1 V1 over T1 equals P2 V2 over T2. So let's take a look at this. Okay, number 4 on the worksheet. A bag of potato chips contains 585 milliliters of air at 25 degrees C and a pressure of 762 millimeters of mercury. Assuming the bag does not break, what will its volume be at the top of the mountain where the pressure is 443 millimeters of mercury and a temperature of 7 degrees C? Okay, so let's make our data table. P1, V1, T1, and P2, V2, and T2. Okay, so a bag of potato chips contains 585 milliliters of air. That's a volume, so that's V1. At 27 degrees C and a pressure of 762 millimeters of mercury. So its initial pressure is 762 mmHg. Its initial temperature was 27 degrees C, and I immediately need to convert that to Kelvin. So 273 plus 727, sorry, is going to be 300 K. Okay, assuming the bag does not break, what will its volume be? So we're looking for V2 at the top of the mountain where the pressure is 443 millimeters of mercury and the temperature is 7 degrees C. Okay, so 273 plus 7 is going to be 280 degrees C. Okay, so there's our data table. Let's write down our equation over here. I'm running out of paper. Actually, let's do it underneath. So we've got our equation, which is P1 V1 over T1 equals P2 V2 over T2. We are rearranging to solve for V2, so we need to multiply by T2 and divide by P2. So P1 V1 T2 divided by T1 P2 equals V2. And then we just need to plug in our numbers, include your units, so 762 millimeters of mercury multiplied by 585 milliliters multiplied by 280, sorry, that should be Kelvin, sorry about that, 280 Kelvin divided by T1, which is 300 Kelvin, multiplied by 443 millimeters of mercury. So millimeters of mercury cancel, Kelvins cancel, and we're left with milliliters, and since we want a volume, that is appropriate. So 762 multiplied by 585 multiplied by 280 divided by, and then we need to put parentheses on the bottom, right? Because we've got two things on the bottom here, so make sure you put parentheses around that in your calculator. Multiplied by 443 equals 939 milliliters.